Okay, let's see. Good morning. We are going, the pre-market opens, well, the 7 a.m. pre-market opens in 30 seconds. So just getting my scanners ready. It looks like we have a couple of things actually popping up on the scanner, but no news. However, a lot of times news comes out at the top of the hour and at the bottom of the hour. So we'll see if any of it has any news. SKYQ. SKYQ. Huh. UCAR. Didn't that come up yesterday? UCAR? I didn't trade it, but it did come up yesterday. All right. I've got my chai, rooibos tea. How are y'all doing this morning? Good? Okay. Alrighty. PMAX, but that's below $1, so probably won't take a look at it, and it doesn't have news yet. UCAR has news from yesterday. I wonder what happened. Oh, look at that. Yesterday. Yep. We were looking. Well, yesterday there was volume on it. It popped up at the market open, and now it's running higher. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the market this morning. We had a strong rally yesterday. Yep, that was good. Okay, maybe the ceasefire will keep that streak going. Okay. So let's see what is going on. Bitcoin today. Actually, Bitcoin dropped a little bit from yesterday from the day before, but gold, silver futures, Russell 2000. Look at that, rallied up yesterday. S&P 500. Now, I'm curious what benchmarks you look at. Look at the VIX, huh? Down significantly yesterday. Down to, yeah, look at that. The VIX is down. Just curious what benchmarks you look at in the morning when you jump on. Okay, SKYQ is popping up, but doesn't actually have news. This might be a continuation stock where it is just continuing volume from the previous day. I mean, look, it's popping up. It is popping up. Makes sense, right? So SKYQ operates an oil production, refining, and development stage environmental remediation company in the United States. I feel like anything right now that has to do with oil is just popping up. So let's see, CLIK. Well, it did pop up, but again, no new news. Okay, UCAR, CLIK, and SKYQ. None of them have new news popping up. Let's see what else is going on. STAA, but that's $25 a share. I stick to under $20, and lately I've been sticking to under $10. I have traded stocks between 10 and 20, but I feel like I like trading stocks that are under $10, but over $1. I don't really like to trade stocks under $1 because I feel like they have to make a huge move in order for me to get 10 cents a share. It just doesn't feel worth it. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait, I don't even have my screen showing. Silly me. Okay, so let's get that going. Actually, wait, before I do that, let's see. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Getting organized here. Let's see. Getting organized today. Let's see. Okay, on demand. Make sure that you can see my window. Yep. There we go. All right, CLIK. CLIK is popping up a little bit. Yep. CLIK, but no news, no new news. So I'm going to hold off on that. Let's take a look at it. It's running up. Okay. I don't see news though, so I am going to hold off on that. Yep. So broke above VWAP. My MACD is green, but I'm going to hold off on that. Being really strict right now with my criteria for stock selection. I know I sound like a broken record, but just like anything else in life, it comes down to strong fundamentals, and that is the first step, is stock selection. Is this the right stock to trade? And so I don't know. It meets all the criteria except for news. So the price is between $1 and $10. The float is under $1 million. The relative volume is way more than 5 times the 50-day average. And it is gapped up like 60% over the previous day's close. So it meets everything except news. And I just don't trust that. Seriously, I just don't trust that. In a hot market, I would be more likely to play loose with that. And I know we had a good day yesterday as far as the S&P 500 goes and all of that, but I'm not trusting it just yet. I'm playing it really safe until I see that the overall market is kind of ramping up a little bit. So, okay, let's see, what else do we have? That's kind of it right now. So let's look at how things are going for the month trades. So if I look at this month, well, let's look at the week. Okay, today we don't have any trades yet, obviously. So, that's this week, right? We're at April 9th. Oh, so today, I think the consumer price index is supposed to come out. Which one is it? Let's see. We do have some potential news in the market. So today, the gross domestic product is coming out for the fourth quarter, BLS. That could affect the market. Okay, I wrote about it in my Substack on Monday. So I'm over on Substack. I'm posting 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I'm generally giving my theme each week. I'll have a goal, a trading goal that I'm working on. And so Monday, I'll kind of talk about Monday is Monday market mindset, Raven's market mindset. I'm going to talk a little bit about where the market's at and what my goal is for the week. Wednesday, I'll do a midweek check-in on my goal and see how my trading is going for the week. And Friday, I will do a recap. So for each day, there is a free section and then there's a paid tier below. So there's free content Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you do subscribe, there'll be paid. There's also paid content Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, but I do in Mondays, and on Monday, I talk about the 2 indicators that are coming out this week, like economic indicators. Okay, one is GDP. Okay, it's supposed to come out today, and then tomorrow, the consumer price index. So gross domestic product, consumer price index. That can really affect the market at large. And so that's something I'm also going to be talking about over there on Mondays, like more like economic indicators. And I'll be going more into depth on my trading mindset and strategy and what my goal is and how I am arriving at those goals and why. This week, my goal is volume, okay, to be very aware of volume. So let's look at some of my trades for the week. So this is my trades for the week. I use TraderView to analyze my trading, okay? And sometimes I do it after every trade, depending on how I'm feeling that day, but I download my trades or import, that's the right word. Import my trades into, oh, someone's here. Good morning. I import my trades into, good morning, into TraderView so that I can analyze them. So this is how the week's going. Monday was a heartbreaker, clearly. 2 green days in a row. That feels good. Okay. I feel like I'm kind of back on track. My metrics on my ratio on Monday, my accuracy was terrible. Let's see, what's my accuracy for the week? 56%. Well, it's more than 50%, but that is still poor accuracy for me. I definitely have better accuracy usually. And let's see, max consecutive losses. That's like how many losses did I have in a row this week? The most I had in a row was 2. All right. If I have more than 2 losses in a row, I really give myself some serious consideration as to whether I should keep going for the day. And that has to do with the magnitude of the losses, of course, and also my mindset and where the market's at. If it's a cold day and I've had 3 losses in a row and I wasn't able to get up at my stop, so they're more than I expected, I might consider shutting it down for the day. But this week I've only had no more than 2 losses in a row. My profit factor was 0.96, which means that for the week, see, I still haven't completely made up my Monday loss. I'm still down $20. So my profit factor would be under 1. If I was green, my profit factor would be more than 1. Of course, I think it goes without saying that I'm looking for a profit factor more than 1. This is not ideal. However, the loss on Monday is recoverable. You know, it's not a catastrophic loss, obviously. I took 16 trades in 3 days. I think that's a little less than I usually trade, but okay. The month might be even a little bit more depressing. So let's look at this month. Yeah, I'm down $23. So this month has not been great. I mean, we're already almost a third of the way through the month, and I'm not even green. That is a bummer. But I am sticking to my plan. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm sticking to my plan. Yeah, 2 red days this month. My first red day, small. My second red day, larger than I would like. Okay, definitely this is larger than I would like, but I am almost out of the hole. You can see here, this shows my cumulative P&L, so I have a little ways to go before I get back to 0. Hopefully today is the day. That would be great, right? That's the goal. All right, and you know, there's all kinds of metrics that you can see here. And so let's go back to the week, because that's where kind of my focus is right now. Really trying to get my week dialed in. Okay, so on the reports, there's all these other cool features. Well, you can see I'm also in a drawdown on the week. But you can see your percentage of stocks, your win-loss rate. Yeah, Monday was a bloodbath. Ooh, yikes. All right, and you can see, now I've upgraded to the gold plan recently, where I can see more information, and but the basic plan is excellent. And if you're not tracking your trades, you should, please, even if it's just in a free Google spreadsheet, okay? You know, track the minimum. And I would definitely, if you're a new trader like me, definitely track which setups you're taking and how much risk you are planning on taking for each trade. That has been a game changer. So if we look at the week right here, I can look at tag breakdown. Wow, my bull flag pullbacks, which is normally my bread and butter, no bueno, right? My micro pullbacks, those were killing it, right? So you can kind of see how I'm doing on the week. I just started tagging my trades a couple of weeks ago because I really wanted to see what the data was as far as, let's look at this month. I think I tagged trades this month for all my trades. So you can see that the bull flag pullback did the best, which I definitely expected. Okay, that is you can see that it's the setup that I trade the most. I traded it 16 times. The micro pullback, I've been really struggling with this. I see it, and then I feel like I'm not that successful on it. So this week, that was why I told myself this week that I would only trade the bull flag pullback unless I saw something really, really, really obvious to me. So, But overall, you can see that my bull flag pullback is the setup that I have been trading the most and I have had the most success with. That is accounting for most of my success this month. But all this other stuff here is dragging me down for sure. Okay, break over VWAP. I had 2 trades. I don't know, the micro pullback, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Like I said, I just started tagging all my setups a couple of weeks ago, and so I don't have as much data. I've been using TraderView for quite a while, maybe, I don't know, 6 months, but yeah. Anyway, this is a great feature, so you can kind of see what you're doing. Still nothing popping up on the scanners. Wow, it's like crickets. Crickets. Wow, that's how it is some days, you know? If you're watching this after the fact, Zard popped on, but he popped off. So if you're watching this after the live stream, this is what it's like sometimes. Just you and the screens. So, but I've got my trusty chai rooibos. That's my tea of the moment, herbal tea. Gave up caffeine. Glad I did. I feel a lot less jittery overall. Okay, and so SKYQ popped up, and then look at that. It popped up real fast. Okay, right here, 7 a.m. is the pre, so it popped up coming up to the pre-market. I will start trading more. I'm going to try trading. Good morning. Good morning. I will try trading more between 4 and 7 a.m. I have a Webull account, and I'm going to be working more with that. Maybe not live streaming just yet, but I will be checking it out more because when I do travel, it would be nice to have the ability to trade during that time frame. However, you know, I have to learn how to set it up and get it the way I like it and get all my buttons configured, get everything configured the way I like it. I'm curious, does anybody else use Webull as their broker? All right, CLIK still kind of popping up on my scanner, but MACD is red. Okay, and again, we don't have new news. This is where I'm really reluctant. I mean, obviously SKYQ has been popping up all, you know, for the last week, and I have traded it, but there's no new news. And UCAR also popped up on my scanner, but again, no new news. This popped up yesterday. So, oh, wait a minute. Here we go. There's no brand new news, but for UCAR, there is news from the middle of the night, and it says shares of the Chinese battery swapping company surged. Let's take a look. Surged 26.89%, extending its intraday rally after the company announced a $3.1 million capital raise through a private placement. So this is not significant news. This is just kind of recapping what happened yesterday. And it's really important that you evaluate the quality of the news. That's really important because not all news is equal. And you want to make sure that, let's see, you want to make sure that you are evaluating the news. Okay, I like news based on something real and substantial, maybe earnings, or I love biotech because there's a real event, like an experiment or a trial completed or results from a trial, FDA approval. I like news like that, concrete, real news. That's me. However, sometimes the stock will go up and that is the news. Here, they're just, in my opinion, they're just regurgitating what happened yesterday. So I don't really consider that news for the purposes of driving up the stock price. Although that can happen, but I am looking for quality news. All right, let's see. CC. Curious. This is on the top gainer scanner. And I use warrior trading scanners. So let's see. The price is right. Does everybody remember that show? The float, though, is too high. All right. The float is, shares outstanding is 97 million. And the float is 63 million. So that right there screens it out. It meets 3 of my criteria for stock selection, but right there, I'm screening it out. The float is too high. I keep the float under 20 million shares, but also, 10 to 10 million is even better. Am I right? But that's way too high. It's not going to drive. It might drive some price action, but it just doesn't meet my criteria. However, the relative volume is great, and it gapped up. According to Warrior Trading Scanners, it gapped up 18% over the previous day's close, and the relative volume is like, wow, the relative volume is like 1,800. That's crazy. Okay, but CC, you are disqualified. So let's get rid of that one. Okay. CLIK breaking up above VWAP in the 9 EMA, but it is still red. And again, no new news. Even yesterday, I guess if you wanted to look at a stock with no news and see if it was a continuation stock. Oh, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. Oh, I love that. Okay. Yes. Put it into ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT and also Claude AI I use Claude a lot. But I feel like ChatGPT and Claude are good for different things. But I use AI to analyze my trades too. I use TraderView to analyze my trades, but then I plug them into AI and I ask it, do you see anything? I'm looking for patterns for feedback, and then I use that to continue to improve. Okay, that's how I've found a couple of the things that I'm doing wrong. So, but yes, the news, that is smart. I have definitely done that. I will go to ChatGPT or Google and put the ticker in and say, is there any news about this particular stock? 100%. Yes, that is a great idea. I love AI. I know I'm 55, but I love AI. My kids are older, they're adults, but they think I'm obsessed, but I feel like it is the frontier. It is, okay? I don't know if anyone remembers the Terminator movies and Skynet. So I'm nice to technology so that when the machines take over, they don't destroy me right away. But I think that it's great, and I use them for a lot of stuff. I'm going to be using Claude to landscape my yard this summer. I want ideas on landscaping, so that's my weekend project, I think. But anyway, yes, I think using AI is great for analyzing the market, analyzing your trades, identifying weaknesses and strengths. I'm hoping that I can also use Claude. So I'm using TraderView to analyze to keep track of my tags, and it does have analysis here in terms of a tag breakdown, but I do plan on plugging the data into, the aggregate data into Claude and seeing, okay, what do you see? I mean, I don't always agree with it. I'm going to be honest. I don't always agree with it. Maybe that's human arrogance on my part. Okay, CLIK is popping up, okay? This is great. This is like a little bull flag pullback and then a breakout, but right here we're still red. The MACD's just flipping over now. And again, no news. I would rather sit out the entire morning. I really would. I would rather sit out the entire morning than take a trade out of desperation, because I've done that too many times. Just wanting to be in the game. So I use my downtime. I don't just sit and watch a movie or watch YouTube. I use the downtime to analyze the stocks that are up. And because, sometimes a stock pops up on the scanner and it meets the criteria, everything except news, and then the news pops up later. So, and just watching the charts and analyzing my past trades. When I was really trying to understand the level 2 and time and sales, I spent a lot of time just watching the top of the ask, okay, and watching the bid in the ask and watching the level 2 and just trying to get a handle on understanding how that worked. I will definitely do videos on that. All right, GNLN and GLMD. So GLMD has news. So let's look at that. Galmed announces the breakthrough development of a brain-penetrating new formulation of its SCD1 inhibitor, Armacol. That sounds pretty awesome. Okay, it's 7:30, breaking news coming out. That sounds pretty awesome. Let's look at everything else. It's a penny stock. I don't love that. Ugh. Okay, I don't love that. Float under 6 million. Relative volume flying up, gapping up. It has news. It meets my criteria for stock selection, except that it's under $1. And I just haven't had great luck with stocks under $1. It's like it has to make a really big move for me to get 10 cents a share. And I'm not saying don't trade them, but this looks like a good one. It's popping up, okay? It's popping up here. You can see if I'm looking for a bull flag pullback. Okay, so GNLN. Oh no, that looks terrible. Okay, that popped up with news too. Greenlane Holdings Digital Asset Treasury Update. No, I think GLMD looks good. We've got a bull flag pull possibly. Okay. Oh, this way. I don't know. We have a bull flag pull possibly. All right, that might be a micro pullback and a drive higher. Okay, so the thing about the micro pullback, and I think what I'm struggling with, is that there's no defined exit. You don't know if the micro pullback is like the beginning of it rolling over. With the bull flag pullback, there's a defined stop and target, which makes it easy for new traders like me to see where I'm supposed to do what. Okay, and it's still running up. I mean, this looks good. It's over $1 now, but see how, like, I don't know. I'm just, the 200 SMA or simple moving average on the daily chart can be a point of support or resistance. In this case, that's not far off, okay? So it might just kind of stop there. So when I first noticed it was running up and I saw the first micro pullback, what was it about here? Or was it here? Wherever it was. I could have got 10 cents a share if it was here. If it was here, not so much. Well, maybe I could have got 10 cents a share if I was being really fast about it. All right, let's get rid of some of the ones that don't have news today. And ELAB came up again. I've had good and bad experiences with ELAB. What is their new news? AGA Precision Systems signs second long-term supply agreement to manufacture aerospace and defense components for a tier 1 firm. Well, it's an agreement. It's an agreement to do something. It's not actually having done something. And this is, I'm not saying it's not good news, but I don't know. I've been kind of burned on ELAB before. So yesterday, ELAB went up to $5.49, and it would be reasonable to expect that it might hit that level. If it breaks through that level, then I might consider. See, I've traded it before. I traded it in March a couple of times, but I remember not having a fantastic experience with it. See, it ran up. It had a little run up here, and then it came back down. Yesterday, it was up again. So here, it's a you know, on April 1st, it went all the way up to $14.04. However, I think it got me on April 1st. Let's see, did I trade? Oh, I didn't trade it on April 1st. Okay. All right, so I don't know, I feel like this could be a good one. GLMD pulling back below VWAP, GNLN, well, that's a mess. Okay, so the two I'm looking at right now are ELAB and GLMD. ELAB is looking the cleanest right now. Okay, so it is pulling, it looks like it's pulling back either a micro pullback or a bull flag. And what do you know? This is the level, it's pulling back right under the high of day yesterday. And that makes sense, right? That's a point of resistance. It actually hit that level twice yesterday, right when the market opened, and then like later in the day, midday. Do I primarily use the 1 minute time frame to execute? Yes, I do use Warrior Trading scanners, and there are 10-second charts on there, and I would like to definitely start using the 10-second charts more, because I feel like the micro pullbacks would be a lot clearer if I were trading on the 10-second chart. I mostly use the 1 minute chart. I have traded off the 5 minute, but mostly the 1 minute. What do you do? Do you do do you trade off the 10-second chart? I definitely feel like that might help me diagnose my issue with the micro pullbacks for sure. And that might be a possible theme for next week, because looking at my metrics for this month, you can see that I did take a lot of micro pullbacks. I feel like I'm seeing it, but I'm not really understanding what's happening in that 1 minute candle. You know, that's a great question. You've had a lot of good questions. So it's breaking out, but I think I would feel more comfortable if it breaks over this 550, this $0.50. I think in this case, I've 536. I could have got 10 cents a share, but see, look, it popped up and came back down. Yeah, I didn't trust it because I felt like there was resistance here at this $0.50. And if it breaks over 5.5, I will consider it. But this 1 minute candle here, yikes. See, I'm glad I did not trade this because I would have had to get out so fast, right? Because the candle started here, it popped up. I would have had to get out so fast. So I will see if ELAB breaks above 5.5. If it does, if it breaks above 5.5, then I think it could kind of skyrocket because this window goes all the way back to up to 14. 1 minute mostly. I'm trying out the 10-second. Yeah, I'm definitely, that's on my list, my list of things to try. I do feel like this could diagnose my micro pullback issue. It's just, you know, yeah, maybe that will be my next week goal, is to try having the 10-second chart up. Let's see. Yeah, Warrior Trading, I pay for their scanners, and there is a charts feature. Let's see, charting. I'm going to pull it up right now and see. Yeah, they have a 10-second, a 15-second, and a 24-second chart. So you're experimenting with the 10-second. Okay. I wonder how much harder it is between the 10 and 15-second. Let's see. Let's put in ELAB. Can I take this out of the window? Don't think I can. Let me try to do that. Okay, so this is, let me try to do ELAB. That's the 5-minute. Here's the 10-second on Warrior Trading's scanners. So let me see if I can make this so that we can at least see what's happening here. I don't want to block my trader window. I'll have to figure out how to make it fit here. But this is the 10-second chart on the Warrior Trading scanners. Wow, that is zipping along, huh? I will have to get used to that. I will have to get my mind used to that. But now you're encouraging me. See? Thank you. Okay, this is why I wanted to do this. This is why I wanted to do the live stream, because I feel like connecting with other traders is really good. Thank you for encouraging me to look at the 10-second. So I'm going to have to set this up the way I want to see it, but it looks like a lot of my indicators are already there, the 9 EMA, the 20 EMA. So I pay for Warrior Trading scanners. They're really good. I like them. And, but there are other features like the charting. They do have like a newsroom. It's good. It's really good. Warrior Trading's great. I took his classes. Wow. Really good. More information than I can really handle at this stage of my trading journey because I'm new. So he provides way more than I can absorb. I'll get there. I will get there, but it's like a lot, as you know, since you're obviously trading. It's a lot. And all right, so CLIK is still popping up, but I'm really not interested. But like ELAB, okay, you can see the multi-time frame alignment here. It's popping up here on the 10-second chart, and that's this candle here that we're in. Wow, this is really eye-opening. Really eye-opening. Okay, I guess I'm going to have this is why I do need more monitors. I have my travel monitor. I could pull that out and hook that up in addition to my big at-home monitor. So when I've traveled previously, I'm traveling not next week, but the week after. And on all my trips since I started trading, I have been trading on my trips. I'm going to trade on this trip for sure. It's a 6-hour time difference. I'm going to Prague, but I've never live streamed while trading on a trip. And I hope that I have enough room to show everything on my screens. So it's popping back up for a bull flag breakout. But again, okay, this, I guess, I could have gotten in here at 522 for looking for profit up to the $0.50. I think I'm looking for a break over 550 because I missed this. I was talking. I feel like it's too late to get in because if I get in now at 534 and it only goes up to 550, yeah, I mean, I could get 10 cents a share, but what if it doesn't touch 550? What if this is like an ABCD pattern, which I'm not really great at identifying ABCD patterns, but it kind of looks like it could be. So it's touching the 9 EMA. Now I'm looking at the 10-second chart. Wow, this is so different. I have to figure out how to hide all this so that we can actually see the chart, but I do think I need more screens going on here. Wow, so this candle, you can see it pulling back. It's going to take me a while to see it all, right, on the 10-second, but I think this could diagnose my micro pullback problem for sure because, okay, so this run up where I thought I saw some micro pullbacks, this is at 733. Here it did. Look at this. It was like a little bull flag on the 10-second, and then it broke out. And then here, was it here? 1034. 1034, there's another. Wow. Okay. All right. I see you, 10-second chart. Thank you for kind of asking that question because I think this could possibly be the theme for next week. Trading on the 10-second chart and identifying my issue with micro pullbacks because I'm seeing them on the 1 minute, but I'm just not able to identify what's really happening and if that's, wow, look at that. So this leg, all right, so wait, it's pulling back again. This does look like an ABCD pattern, right? Because it popped up, it pulled back, it popped up again, but not quite as high, pulled back, but not quite as high. So it's kind of narrowing. I'm looking for that break over 550. So let me shut this down for a second so I can pay attention. It's either on the backside of the move or it's an ABCD pattern. What do you think? I am looking for that break over 550. So this volume bar is going up. The MACD is just barely green. It's barely holding on here. So I don't love that. But you can see on the 5-minute chart, it's like a pullback here, right? The volume's decreasing. It's pulling back. Wow, that 10-second chart is like so fascinating. Let's take a look at that again. Yep, look at that. Wow. Very helpful. This pullback, this candle right here. Oh my goodness. Okay. You've got me hooked. I do think that this is possibly the next week's theme. I'll have to evaluate all my data. So on Friday, I do a full week analysis of my trading, and I put that over in Substack. I'm posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Substack. And I keep that centered around, generally around my theme of the week, deeper analysis. Okay, NXL, but again, it's under $1. Isn't it funny how sometimes there's just a million stocks that are like under $1. All right, but I'm gonna keep an eye on ELAB because I think it might be, well, the MACD is just flipped red. So no bueno. But thank you for pushing me on the 10-second chart. I am going to that could be the key. That could be the key to diagnosing my micro pullback problem. Because here, I'm really fascinated about this leg up because usually that's when I see micro pullbacks, is when something's running up pre-market. Like I see them at market opened on gap and go stocks, but during pre-market, I'll see things run up. I'll see a little pullback right before it goes higher. And this could really identify that. Look at this. 7:30, right at 7:30. This one right here. Pulls back. 7:31 is this one. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I love these learning moments. I love it. This is why I wanted to do this channel and start live streaming and doing my Substack to improve my trading, but also like I love learning from other people, and I'm just so curious what other people are doing. And I thought maybe someone might be helped by watching me stumble through it. All right, look at this. It's the MACD is like not crossing over yet, but if it breaks over $5.50, it might. If it breaks over 550 and I see one candle close above 550 and I get confirmation on the volume bars and the MACD is green and the price is still going up, I will take a break of the $0.50 setup, which I'm also seeing more. So one of the things that I did, yeah, yep. Yeah, I started off trading between $1 and $20, and lately I prefer stocks under $10. That allows me to trade longer if it's hot because I trade with a cash account. And yeah, the 10-second, I'm like all about it now. Yeah, I love it. Yes. Okay, this 10-second chart, this might be my theme next week. Thank you so much. Really. GLMD is creeping up and it's above $1, but look, the volume's going down, right? Yeah, and I just don't love the penny stocks. I don't love it. I can't click on the active trader ladder easily. You gotta scroll, scroll, scroll. And sometimes I like to set a price there. ELAB is still hovering. I'm looking for that break over 550. But yes, I see, I love the encouragement because, okay, oh, wait, are we making a move? Are we making a move? But the MACD is still red. ELAB, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? Oh my goodness, look at that. It touched the $0.50 and it is just, oh, it broke over. Okay. Now I'm gonna wait for the MACD to go green, and I'm gonna wait for at least one candle to form above the $0.50 because I have been burned so many times where it breaks over and then it pops back below. Oh, just like that. Just like that. Oh, this way. Just like that. Because I think if I were a more experienced trader, I would see more nuanced signs of the right entry, but because I'm a new trader, I do need more confirmation. I think, experienced traders just see a lot more. Now look at that. It broke over the $0.50 and then rejected. Now, that doesn't mean my fight is over. Okay. I feel like it's really testing that $0.50, right? It popped up again. This is like a flat top breakout, but at $0.50. I'm not giving up on you, ELAB. Because on the first, look at that, it went all the way up to 14. And the news, I mean, it's okay. Executing a long-term agreement. I mean, so the news is that they executed a long-term agreement. Long-term implies that there is going to be a lot of financial gain from this agreement. But still, it's an agreement. It's something that might happen in the future, right? How binding is this agreement? And I like news where something has actually occurred already or is occurring in the moment. I like that. But hey, trader sentiment, you just don't know what the other traders are thinking about the news, and they might think that sounds sweet and get in. So, okay. I'm keeping hope alive for a break over 5.5. That's since there isn't anything else popping up, I figure I will watch the ELAB show. Let's bring the 10-second chart back. Where did that go? Okay, so wow, look at this. Okay, this is great. I have to get used to how to see everything because I haven't really used Warrior Trading's charting feature that much. I've been using the scanners, but it looks like I will be using the 10-second charts now. I believe there are 10-second charts on Webull, right? So that's another step in my journey. Like I said, I want to get Webull set up, get trading on that platform, because, for example, I'm going to Prague in 2 weeks, and but the MACD is still red, but might be testing 5.5 again. Let's see if it's testing 5.5. Wow, on the 10-second chart, it's like, look at that, popped down. Okay, it popped below the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA, but it didn't break VWAP. It popped up, but the MACD is still red. And let me just make some room in case I decide to get in. So it's testing this level again, right? Volume is king, but volume sometimes tricks me. It pops up green, but then it switches red. Yes. Yes. So many times. So many times. Okay, like we're still at the $0.50. So many times. So this week's theme for me is volume, and that is something that I have noticed. I'll be like, oh, the volume bar is up. The volume bar is, above the previous volume bar, and then it flips red. Yuck, right? Ugh. Yeah, that's always a bummer. I feel you for sure. So many times. And that's something that by dialing in on volume this week, that's my theme for the week, that has really helped me see that. And I think that is why some of my trades have gone south, for that exact reason. All right, ELAB, we're back up above the $0.50. The volume bar, though, is not continuing to increase. So let's keep an eye on that. We're about halfway through this candle. Let's take a look at the 10-second chart, right? Okay. Oh, look at that. It's pulling back on the 10-second chart. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The 10-second chart is really helpful. Oh my. Wow. Thank you so much. This is a game changer. Yikes. So that is so obvious here. Holy smokes. Okay, so ELAB is just testing this $0.50. All right, it's popped up, but all right, GLMD. Yes, this 10-second chart thing is game changer. Wow, thank you. Down here, what's this? This is the 200 EMA. I don't usually use the 200 EMA on, I'm going to get rid of this. Let's see. I don't need to see that. VWAP, the 20 and the 9 and the 20 and VWAP. That's really what colors does Warrior Trading use? Okay, so the 9 is the light one and the 20 EMA is the darker one and the yellow is the VWAP. All right, look at that. It's popping back up. So if I were going to just trade on the 10-second, that would change how I look at this. That would really change how I look at this. Do you just trade on the 10-second chart, or do you still look at the 1 minute and the 5 minute for multi-time frame alignment? And this is pretty awesome. I'm kind of getting hooked on this. I'm gonna have to figure out how to resize it to, let's do this. And the volume bars. Yeah, definitely, right? Not to overanalyze. Excellent point. But yeah, it is definitely a game changer. It's like so many times I'm wondering, what is happening inside that candle? Well, here it is. I'm curious. 24 seconds. That's kind of an interesting. Instead of 30, it's 24 seconds. That's kind of hard because it doesn't fit neatly into a 1 minute candle. 15 seconds. 15-second chart. I kind of like that too. I will definitely play with this. I think I'm going to play with the 10 and the 15-second charts next week. And yep, okay, that makes sense. You still use it for multi-time frame alignment. Awesome. Yes. GLMD, let's take a look here. GLMD, okay. GLMD is making a move, but yeah, MACD is red. ELAB. So it's 8 o'clock. I was hoping we would get some breaking news right about now, and maybe something else would pop up. All right, so ELAB is again popping up above 5.5. But this volume bar, I'm looking at it. The MACD is still red though, so I would have to say no. I really have to stick to my guns on that. Let's see. 5.5 seems to be the point at which it just will not, yeah, look at that. So it flew up. Okay, so from here, 542 to 560, 10 cents a share, right? It's a nice little, so this is what, 758. Oh, okay. I think it's funny that you said don't overanalyze. I'm such an overthinker. Such an overthinker. Oh my God. Okay. So pulling back. So it's dipping below the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA on the 10-second chart. I don't know why I'm on the 15-second chart. I don't know why I'm looking at it as if it's a completely foreign thing. It's just another chart. That's so funny how psychology works. I'm like, how does this work? It works exactly the same as the 1-minute chart and the 5-minute chart, right? Okay, so yeah, we're testing that level again. Okay, we've had a candle stay above that level, but the volume bars are not going up. This volume bar, I want to see it creeping up higher, and I want to see the MACD green. So on the 10-second chart, yep, look at that. It was a 59 to 62. 15-second chart. Okay, so got VWAP. Okay, another pullback. So what's your main setup on? What is your main setup? I'm curious, do you do like bull flag pullbacks? Do you look for, because I guess now, this is so obvious, but now that whatever is a micro pullback on the 1-minute chart could be just a real pullback on the 10 or 15-second chart, right? Let's go back to the 10-second. Let's check that out. Yeah. So here we've got, it does give you a good picture though of what's happening. So we're above 5.5. I waited for a candle to close above 5.5. But and here, this is what you were talking about, the volume flipping. It went up and then it flipped red. And here we're continuing to pull back. Yeah. So what's really giving me pause here is that, yes, ELAB is inching up, but on the 5-minute, you can see the volume is just decreasing over time. That is the thing that's harder to see on the smaller charts. But, okay, MACD just flipped green. So now I'm looking for a bull flag. So right now we're running up, green candle's running up. Now I'm looking for that bull flag. It's hard to see what's going on up here. Why is the chart, it's like, where is the chart? I'm getting used to the 10-second. Oh, here we go. I was like, where is the chart? Okay. Okay, mine too. Bull flag, pullback, micro pullback. Definitely where I'm at right now. I mean, bull flag pullback is just, it gives you those defined parameters, and I really like that. In this crazy trading world of uncertainty, I really like the certainty of the bull flag pullback with the defined parameters. The micro pullback, though, I think this will really help me diagnose the issues. Okay, so now it's popping up. Okay, now the MACD's green. The volume is pulling back a little bit. Oh, look at this. So it taps this level. Oh, wow. Here it's like a little flat top breakout, right? At 580. So this might be the beginning of, this might be the bull flag pullback. The volume's decreasing, right? And here the volume increased. All right, so we've got, I think we have the makings of a bull flag pullback, but, or is it, whoops. This 580, we're looking for it to break out over 580. It's continuing to pull back. Yep. So I'll watch this for a little while longer. I will probably take a break about 8:15 for about 5 minutes. And I wanted to wait until after the point where 8 o'clock news might break out, but before 8:30 news. Oh, wait. Is this the breakout? Let's see. The volume bar, though, that's what's giving me pause. Look at that. There we go. But it broke over 580, but I don't see this volume bar creeping up. All right, whoops. Did it fill my whole order? Yeah, it did. Okay. It's a lot of indecision here. Oh, I don't like this at all. Okay. Keep going, keep going. So yeah, I mean, I might, this is making me nervous, but there aren't any big sellers on the ask, but 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 7. I'm just going to take my win and go. Okay. I got in, I got green, and I got out. I wonder if it's going to break $6. I wonder if it's going to break $6. Let's see. I feel like that's going to be a point of resistance here. So let's get rid of this. I guess that's a bull flag pullback, right? And, oh, is it going to break 6? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that might be a point of resistance. I'm looking back yesterday. No, the other day, 7 o'clock. Oh, okay. It's breaking over the whole dollar. All right. So my first trade, I would call that a bull flag pullback, and I would call the second trade a break of the whole dollar. So I'm actually going to actually going to put these in trader view. Import, because now we have 2 trades to look at for today. But the reason I like to do it, I don't wait till the end of the day, is because if I do like 12 trades, I'm not going to remember all the setups sometimes. I mean, it just makes it harder for me to remember. So I like to do it as I go. So the first one, I was willing to risk $50 or 10 cents a share, and that was a bull flag pullback. The second one, I was willing to risk $50, and that was a break over the whole dollar. Okay, so I didn't get my full 10 cents a share, but I had 2 green trades, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That feels good. That feels really good. Okay. So yeah, I know I said I was going to take a break, but I'm looking for another pullback. Let's look at the 10-second chart again. And now the 10-second chart is creeping back up, breaking out over that amount. So let's oh, but I didn't wait for the volume bar confirmation. Uh-oh. Up, it hit my bid. So I'll get out. Oh my. Okay. That's it. I got caught. So here, I got caught. I got caught. I thought it was breaking back out. That was not a clean pullback. That was a, yeah. All right, TURB. Let's see. I think that was an impulsive buy. I thought it was breaking out again. Yeah. All right, so let me put that in my trader view. Bummer. Okay. So let's see. Trader view, import trades. Oh, was that really a bull flag pullback? That was more like here. Yeah. Okay, see, this volume candle was red. I guess in the moment, I thought it was a pullback and a breakout, but now that I am looking at it, I don't know. I'm going to say I did not have a proper setup. I'm going to say I did not have a proper setup on that. No setup. Oh boy. Look at paid the price. Okay, so TURB. Turbo Energy secures strategic patent for AI-driven. Oh, I like this news. I like this news. I really like it. Okay. I don't like the topping tails. I don't like this pullback, but all right. My impulsive no setup trade wiped out everything that I had made on the first two trades, and I couldn't get out. I tried to sell, but I couldn't get out. Oh. New trader lessons, right? My accuracy, I got 2 out of 3 trades correct, but that one trade wiped out the other 2 trades. And they were 2 good trades. Bummer. All right, so Turbo Energy granted United States patent. I love it. All right, let's look at the stock selection. The price is correct. The relative volume is not there. The relative volume is only 0.47 right now. So I want to wait and watch that go up. Okay. So let's take a look. So yeah, that's a bummer that I took that last trade. That was impulsive too. And you know, one of the great things about live streaming is that I am able to go back and watch my trades. So not only am I analyzing my trades in TraderView, I'm putting my trades into Claude AI. Okay, so it's above VWAP. It's a bull flag breakout. This is really good news. But the price isn't, now it's below VWAP again. Okie dokie. But I'm analyzing my trades in AI. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Oh, but the live stream is really helpful because then I go back and I can watch each of my trades before I make a final analysis and watch myself trade. So yesterday, I actually learned how to timestamp in the live stream. So my trades yesterday are timestamped. So you can just click on the timestamp in the description and it will bring you to the trade in the live stream. I will also do that today. So now I wonder, now that I'm looking at the 10-second chart, I'm wondering, let me see. Let me bring that back. Let's bring ELAB back real quick. Okay, I took the trade at this one right here. 816. So it was this breakout here. Now, if I had been watching the 10-second, I would have seen the rejection probably right away. Wow. Okay. That is eye-opening. Okay, TURB still doesn't have the relative volume, so GLMD. Again, not feeling it. It's a penny stock. All right, TURB. Feel like this has some potential, but I'm going to take a quick break. 5 minutes. I will be back in 5 minutes, and I'll see you soon. All right, so. Hey everyone. All right, I am back. All right. I'm back. Just had to stretch my legs a little bit. Okay. What is going on? Oh, it's happened since I left. TURB is still there, but I didn't have the volume. Okay. Okay. ELAB still climbing higher. Kind of. Let's look at that 10-second chart again. But now it's pulling back here. And that's this on the 1-minute chart. This is definitely a game changer. This false breakout, that has happened to me, I want to say 3 times this week. Definitely have to diagnose that, but it wasn't really a bull flag pullback. That was not real setup. All right, TURB. The relative volume is creeping up, so I am going to say that TURB might be my next. I'd have to break over VWAP, right? But it has really good news. Okay, AGH. Let's see, AGH just popped up. AGH. You know, it's really hard when you have a red trade sometimes, and I know it was my fault because I didn't have a proper setup. So that's when it's hard to shake it off. And I'm like, okay, oh. Same to you. All right. It's hard to shake that off sometimes because that was my fault, my mistake. And actually, I'm going to put that in my notes. Impulsive trade. Oops. Trade. Whoops. Why am I? Okay. Impulsive trade. I'm just going to put that in there to kind of flag it for myself. Because I feel like that was an emotional problem. You know, I was all excited that I had 2 green trades. So yeah, my accuracy is good, but I'm red on the day. That's like a huge bummer. Part of it is that it was really hard to get out. Oh, whoa, what's AGH? AGH looks like a hot mess here. AGH is having a rough day. I thought I was having a rough day. All right, so, and it doesn't have any news. Let's see, ONCO. So we're coming up to 8, this is 8:30. You know, we might have some stocks pop up. ONCO has news. Let's check it out. What's the news? They highlight launch of Vinci AI vision system with delivery of first Vinci-equipped humanoid robot. What? That's kind of cool. Well, let's check that out, and let's see if it meets our criteria for stock selection. It's running up. Okay, the float is under $1 million. The price is over $1, which I like. It's not a penny stock. The relative volume isn't there yet. It's gapping more than 10% over the previous day's close. So we're waiting. I'm waiting for more volume. That's what I'm looking for. But it is running up. Okay, I like that. I like that news. I like biotech and technology and like, Vinci, is that supposed to be like Da Vinci? That's cute. All right, so like it's so smart. It's like Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, so TURB, no. ELAB, meh. Red on the MACD. ONCO might be something we can take a look at, but I want the relative volume to be more than 5 times the 50-day average. And that is one of the criteria that I use for stock selection. And that is one of the criteria that I am really focusing on this week is volume. I'm trying to diagnose some of my trading issues by looking really closely at something every week. Every week I will have a goal. This week I am looking at relative volume and volume bars. Relative volume because last week I traded a few stocks that did not meet my criteria for relative volume, and that messed me up. Okay, so the relative volume is creeping up. It's almost to 2. Nice. ONCO. All right, okay. So it has the float right here, market cap, 9 EMA, 20 EMA, and VWAP. Okay, it's $190. It looks like 190 is where we're sort of holding, right around 190. Of course, it popped up to $2. Is there resistance on the daily chart? Wow, look at this. On March 27th, it had this massive red candle. Did I trade it that day? I must have traded it that day. What happened on March 27th? Halted in a circuit breaker. The volume is definitely creeping up. The relative volume is now at 2.6. So it's very tempting to get in because I want a green trade to make up for the fact that I screwed up on my last trade. But I am going to stick to my rules. This is the hardest part. I didn't stick to my rules in the last trade, and you know what? I regretted it. I was just so excited. Oh, so I have to stick to my rules. I paid for it. Okay. ONCO. I know there's a way for me to embed this into the frame. So let me see if I can do that. So I'm in the main view. I'm going to look at my sources. No, let me take that out. I'm just trying to. I'll have to figure that out maybe later after the live stream. But okay, so where are we at with volume? Where are we at, yo? All right, so, whoops, having, all right, so volume, it's almost 3. It's almost 3 times the 50-day average. It's almost 3 times. So it doesn't quite meet my criteria yet. Keeps touching that 190, which to me looks like a flat top breakout. That to me looks like a flat top breakout. Maybe, oh, the relative volume is now 4 times. Okay, more people are jumping in. More people are jumping in. Looks like it's gonna try to break out over 190. Yep. Oh, it did. It did. Okay, now the relative volume is almost there. It's at 4.3. It's almost meeting my criteria to get in. It's almost there. So I am going to start looking for, because it did break over this flat top area, I'm going to start looking for another setup on ONCO. ELAB. Nope. TURB. Nope. Okay, so ONCO is what we're watching right now. And I'm going to try to look for a setup on that. The relative volume is almost there. It's close enough. It's like 4.3 times the 50-day average. And I'm sure, yep. Okay, there we go. It's over now. All right, so it's over 5. So now I'm looking for a setup on ONCO. That's kind of cool. A humanoid robot. I told you, be nice to the machines. Didn't I say that earlier in this live stream? I said, be nice to the machines. So that when Skynet takes over, I'm always like, so nice to my AI. I'm nice to Claude. I'm nice to ChatGPT. All right, so now I'm looking for a setup here. Oh, there are a lot of big sellers, though, on the level 2. Okay, that right there gives me concern about getting in. Gives me some concern. Okay, those are gone. Those are gone. So, yeah, for a minute there, it was like 70,000 shares. Whoa. There's a lot of activity on this. Look at the level 2. It's deep, like deep. So it looks like it's pulling back. The volume's pulling back. It's breaking out again. But I don't really, I want to be cautious because I would like to have a real setup. I mean, I guess you could say that there's a window back to $6 here and here at, well, the first window is at 2 something. So this could be the resistance. I like tried to get over 217. Now, to me, these volume bars don't look as clean as these volume bars. This looks like we're holding. Here it's like choppy. And like I said, this week, my goal is to really, really focus on volume. So what story is the volume telling me? Indecision at that price point? Let's look at the 10-second chart, right? Oops. I will figure out how to embed that in my window. I know that's probably really easy to do. It's just I can't do it while I'm distracted. So all right, so this is the pop-up up to 220. It hit 220. All right, it looks like it's going to break out over 220, 221. I'm looking at this volume bar to see, is it going to break out over that level? There's a big there was a big buyer on the bid. Sorry, big buyer on the bid. Okay, it broke out over that amount. We have volume. This volume, but the price isn't popping up. Okay, all right. I mean, yeah, the volume popped up a little. Look how choppy this is. Down and up and down and up. So on the 10-second chart, you can see it's pulling back again. So this is a breakout, 214 to 224. Oh, wow. Yeah. I think I'm going to start trading on the 10-second chart. I'm liking this 10-second chart thing. On 1 hour, I see resistance on the 27th. Okay. Yep. Yep. The 27th. That's when I actually traded this stock on the 27th. And yep. That would be there's a window back to the 27th, right? The first window, I guess you could argue, would be here on the first, where it popped up to 208-ish, right? And that might be why it's hitting resistance at this point. But then there's another window up to 687. I actually traded it there. All right, so it's pulling back. So it tapped 224, the quarter dollar. I mean, this could be resistance at the 225 mark, right? And that could be here in the daily chart, right? You see here on the first, maybe it's struggling to get above that level first. Maybe. The 1 hour chart. I've never used the 1 hour chart. That sounds good. I mean, actually, that's not true. I've used it when I'm looking at my crypto. I only trade Bitcoin, and that's like a long-term thing. So now we have a pullback. This is a pretty clean pullback to the 9 EMA, right? And it looks like it's pulling back on the 5-minute chart. Let's look at the 10-second chart again. Yep, it's pulling back to VWAP. It's going to tap VWAP. So the high of the low candle right now is 214. And if our target is 224, that's 10 cents a share. I don't love that it's going below the 9 EMA on the 1-minute chart, but it's tapping VWAP on, well, all the charts because VWAP doesn't change. But this is now, let's see, the low has changed. This is now the top of the low candle, 213. So if it breaks 213, oh, but oh man, MACD is negative. MACD is negative, so MACD MACD is negative. You got this. Did you ever cheer the stock on? You can do it. Yeah, but the MACD is negative, so. I mean, it's just barely negative. It could cross over again, but now we're on the next candle, and I'm not loving that. So I'm going to try to window capture. Let me see. That's probably the one. Select a window to capture. There we go. All right. Now let's I think I might have done it. Can you see? So now if I just, oh, but I have to keep the window up for it to, okay. There we go. Okay, all right. So I think I've solved my issue. Let me try to get, okay. And I can make me smaller, right? Make me smaller. Okay, I think everything is on there. I don't know if you can see the 10-second chart though. It's really small, but it's tiny. But I think that I have successfully put the 10-second chart on the display. Yep. Yep. Okay. So I'm also getting used to the delay. The live stream has a delay. So, yep. But in any case, all right, now we can see the 10-second chart on my display. Because I guess you don't really need to see my active trader window. Like, I need to see it so I can trade, but you don't need to see that. So maybe I can make this a little bit bigger. How's that? There we go. All right. Okay. So we're about 2 hours in. I've had 3 trades, 2 green, 1 red, which is great for accuracy, but my red trade was bigger than both of my green trades combined, which is a huge bummer. So I'm hoping there's still time to end the day green. There's still time, but you cannot make things show up in the market. Let me see. How is the stock market doing right now? Why does it think it's April 8th? Doing April 9th. Okay, so stock futures are pulling back. So yesterday was a rally, but things are pulling back today. Okay, all right. Maybe that explains how quiet it is. It's like crickets and tumbleweeds. I may not get another trade. Okay, I may not get another chance to redeem myself. I don't know. Now, we talked about today the gross domestic product is going to come out today. That could affect the market as well. Let's see. See if that's come out yet. It's going to be an estimate. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Yep. I actually used to work for the Department of Labor for 17 years. So, so I'm familiar with some of these economic indicators, but I didn't work for BLS. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they do they collect all the data about a lot of the economic data that's used to make economic decisions. And today, from what I understood, they were supposed to release the third estimate of the gross domestic product for the fourth quarter. So let's see. Gonna take a look. Let's see what's going on with that. I do think that even though we are looking at a small portion of the market, it's good to keep an eye on the trends of the overall market. And let's see. Okay, so they did release it already today at 8:30. Real GDP, which stands for gross domestic product, grew at an annual rate of 0.5% in the fourth quarter. And that is revised down 0.2 percentage points from the second estimate, primarily due to a downward revision to investment. Okay, so why is that important? I do talk a little bit about it in my Substack. I talked a little bit about it in my Substack on Monday. And but one of the reasons, so what is GDP? It's like the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they send people out to get the prices of, like, they call it a basket of goods and services, but people go out and they collect the prices all over the country. And they measure the total value of that basket of goods and services. Like, you can go online and find out what that is. And how does it affect the job market? I mean, the stock market. As the GDP goes up, then you'll see it's an indication that there are higher corporate profits and increased consumer confidence. This can boost stock prices. Too high GDP can signal inflation, but there's a healthy medium, right, where GDP is increasing, but so yeah, so that I mean it grew. It grew. I guess we'd have to look at that in context with everything else. Again, it's just like anything else. You can't look at one economic indicator in isolation. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Like tomorrow, we have another indicator, the Consumer Price Index, which is also released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is part of the Department of Labor. And that measures the change in price for certain goods and services, okay? And that can really, the consumer price index can really affect the Federal Reserve's decision to raise or lower interest rates. And that affects corporate profit margins, which affects the stock market. And so, I'm not saying you don't want to get too deep in the weeds on that, because trading momentum stocks is really about technical analysis, but I do think it helps to have some fundamental understanding of the economic indicators and the stock market at large, because it kind of gives you a feeling of the overall sentiment. And I feel like it puts things in context. To be honest, if, knowing that the market's been pretty cold lately makes me feel a lot better about how I've been trading, because I had much better months previously. But the market was hotter. And so kind of having a feeling of what the overall market sentiment is really helpful. It kind of puts things in context. So knowing that today is a struggle, I'm not going to be too upset, but I would like to end green. I had 2 green days in a row. Even a small green day would just really boost my confidence. Let's see, what do I need to do to get a small green day? I'm down $14.05. One solid trade would put me back in the green, and I don't want to over focus on that. I don't want to take any risky trades in order to make that up. But well, ELAB seems to be back. So ELAB, we've got a bull flag forming. Maybe I can get in on this action. Let's look at the 10-second chart. Let's see. ELAB. Whoops. Nope. ELAB. Okay, so the 10-second chart, it looks like it is, oh wow, look at that. On the 10-second chart, it looks like it's, micro pullback there. Okay. The low candle, the top of the low candle is here right now, 627, because the MACD is green. The high is 638, so the entry would be the high above this, the high of this low candle, and the first target would be 638. So let's see. Is the volume going up though? Yep, okay. This is where I've been caught multiple times. Okay. $631, no big sellers on the ask. $629. I think I'm getting caught again. On the 10-second chart, it is pulling back a little bit. I'm getting out. Oh. It happened again. So I thought this was a solid bull flag pullback. I did. I thought this was a solid bull flag pullback. But I got caught again. Wow. Okay. Look at that. I got caught again. What am I missing? What am I missing? That is a bummer. Okay. I'm going to export that to my trader view. Okay, that's a bummer. And it's pulling back, it's pulling back, it's still pulling back. So this is like a false breakout. Right here on the 10-second. Well, it is below the 90 EMA on the 10-second. Would that have diagnosed it for me? So right here, 901. 901, it was like, that's when it rolled over, 902. I think it's breaking out for real this time, so. Okay, that was a solid bull flag breakout, pullback and breakout. So here was the false breakout, right? And this is the real breakout. So yeah, I mean, yep. I got that one, so I'm going to add that one. Let's add those to my trade review. I don't think that I missed the volume on this here. I think I got caught in a false breakout. I do. So let's import those two trades. But I did dig myself into a deeper hole, but okay, so this one here, no, that was the one where I really got stuck. This one here, I was willing to risk $50, but it was like hard to get out. $50, bull flag pullback, and I'm gonna say this was a false breakout. This has happened to me a lot lately. And I thought that the volume would be the key, but I feel like I did read the volume properly. $50, and this one, a real bull flag pullback, right? The real one. Okay. So here we're at the $50. Okay, 650. I'm looking for, it's pulling back here. On the 10-second, it looks like it's pulling back here. Wow, okay. It hit 650, and then now on the first, it went up to $14. So, okay, so now we're pulling back on the 10-second. It's pulling up now. It's breaking out. I'm scared to buy on the 10-second chart though. Because I haven't done that. That's a little scary. Oh my. Okay. Yeah. I think it will take me a while to watch the 10-second chart and really like for my eye to be trained. It's going to take a little bit. I'm going to be patient with myself on that. And all right, so volume seems to be decreasing. I didn't like the selling here. And now it's pulling back again. 646. Well, this isn't enough. This is only 4 cents a share between, well, $6.52, $6.46. Yeah, that's not even 10 cents a share. But I would call that a micro pullback. But is it going to break out over 650? There's a lot of big sellers on the ask. Wow, there was like a $45,000 order on the ask at like 649 or 650. So big sellers. Oh, okay. Yep. Let's see. It's popping back up. I think it's popping back up to 6. Oh, pulling back. Wow, the 10-second chart is eye-opening. What do we have on the scanner? WW, well, that's out of my price range. Okay, so let's not look at that. And, okay. Pulling back, pulling back. You can see the volume is going back on the 5-minute chart. Here, the volume is kind of stair-stepping down, sort of choppy, not as clean as this one right here. Oh, I'm still mad about this one. Look, the volume bar was up. Ugh, false breakout. What am I missing? I've had multiple false breakouts lately. What am I missing? Or is it just sometimes there are false breakouts? I did a video on the bull flag breakout, which I think will be coming out this weekend, maybe. But when I get better at it, maybe I'll do an intermediate level video. All right, well, pulling back. All right, now this is like the top of the low candle here. What's that, 642 to 652? But the I have to see volume here. It's kind of creeping up. It's kind of creeping up, 644. However, we're, yeah, 645, 644. The volume bar is creeping up. I think that's going to do it. No? Okay, I got out. I was going for 10 cents a share to be really, really conservative. Oh my God, I'm green on the day. Okay. I'm green on the day. Yeah, that feels good. Wow. Okay, so let's add that to my trader view. I try not to get too emotional, but I think I try not to get emotional about trading. Honestly, it's easier to not be emotional when I'm doing this by myself in my sweatpants, but doing this live, I'm like, wow, a little bit more pressure than I'm used to. So hold on, I just gotta check something really quick. All right. Okay, so wait, did I send it to my? Sorry, starting to doubt myself here. So I'm gonna put that in my trader view. Whew, riding the struggle bus today. All right, I am green. I am not taking any more trades unless it is so obvious that it is smacking me over the head. I am not risking my green day. I'm not doing that. That is not happening. Okay, and this was a bull flag pullback. That that was a bull flag pullback, right? Yeah. I am not risking this green day. That's not happening unless I see something that is so glaringly obvious, and I might take it with reduced share size so that I can, so that I'm exposed to less risk. So let's actually do that. I'm going to put 100 shares. If I do take another trade, then my risk is only going to be $10. Okay. So yeah, We're just going to go right down to 100 shares and reduce the risk. Oh, MODD. I didn't see that because I was so focused on ELAB. What is MODD? Oh, well, okay. That went into the toilet. TURB, below VWAP, ONCO. Okay, so if this breaks out over this level, 670, and I see volume, I will get in with 100 shares. But I want to see the volume bar, MACD's green, and but we're approaching the market open, so sometimes I feel like activity slows down at this point. But now there's obviously someone here that thinks it's going to go over 7. But if I take anything else this morning, I will take it with reduced share size. That way I don't risk wiping out my green day, because my normal initial risk is $50. So if I get another red trade, I could wipe out everything I made today. And I'm not willing to do that because I am taking this green day. Okay, this would be my 3rd green day in a row. There were months where I had so many green days, like, but yeah, if it breaks out over this level, then and if I get in, it will be with 100 shares. Here we go. Because I'm running out of settled funds. I trade in a cash account. So I'm getting close to the end of my trading window anyway. It's funny how someday, like yesterday, I barely made a dent in my settled funds, like barely. Yeah. I mean, maybe I should wait and look and see if there's something at the market open, which I think is what a lot of people are thinking right now. All right, on that note, I'm going to take a very quick break and I will be back for market open. All right, so sit tight. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? Okay. Oh, ELAB did pop above that level, but only for a second, and the MACD was red. Okay. Yeah, I just needed a refill on my tea. It's like it's herbal, but gotta have it. Okay. So, yes. That is smart. I sometimes do that also to reduce risk. Yes, so I was trading with 500 shares and I am reducing my share size to 100 shares because I'm green on the day, and I think now I am finally. All right, green on the day. Let's look at our metrics here. I'm finally green on the day. And let's look at the week. Am I green on the week? I am green on the week. And this month, I'm green on the month. So today was a very small green day, but it's turned everything around for me. I finally dug myself out of the hole that I created on Monday, and the first day of the month was a red day. So I finally dug myself out of that hole, and I don't want to risk that. So I reduced my share size to 100 shares. That way, if I do take another trade, my risk for that trade will only be $10. So I'd be looking for 10 cents a share. That would be my stop, 10 cents a share. I'm just too happy about this turnaround, right? My story arc, rough start, challenges on Monday. But now this would be my third green day in a row. And you know what? I know it's small. Like, we're talking small amounts here. Like $48 is not anything that's going to get me to Hawaii, but it is progress and it's improvement. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to get 1% better every day. Okay. So, yep. So if I do take another trade, plus I'm getting to the end of my, I trade in a cash account. So I'm getting to the end of the money that I have in my account. So I want to, I don't have that many trades left anyway. Some days I don't use all of it. Like yesterday, I think I took 2 trades yesterday. How many trades did I take yesterday? I'd have to go back and look. But some days I don't use all of it, and other days I use all of it. Like I trade like 30 times. So it just depends on the day, honestly. I think I'm taking way less trades the longer I trade, because I'm realizing that a lot of those trades I took, even if they did work out, I shouldn't have taken them, you know? So, ONCO? Huh. Let's look. Popped up again, ONCO. Didn't we look at that this morning? Oh, that was the one that has the robot, the humanoid. Yeah, but now the news, there's something else. Oh, no, I guess that's the same news. I guess this is a potential break of VWAP. So MACD's green. It's above, but look at that. The 9 EMA and the 20 EMA are flipped. That's weird, right? Look at that. That's kind of weird. The 9 EMA here, and then huh. What do I have them colored wrong on this chart? Nope, they did. They crossed over here. Interesting. As it dropped down. Okay, so, alrighty. Yeah, I think this is cool news. A humanoid? I love it. Okay. I mean, I'm nice to all my AI. Gotta be nice to your AI, you know? All right, let's see. But, yeah. Okay, so ELAB is in a pullback on the 5-minute chart. Well, we're 3 minutes from the market open, so everyone's probably holding on for dear life until the market opens, but we'll see if I take anything. I don't know. I'm going to be like, it'd have to be really obvious. It would have to be really good for me to give up my gain because, yeah, it would have to be really obvious. But let's see. Something pop up, gap and go, right? But if it does, because I'm only trading with 100 shares, yes, my risk is less, but also my target is less. I'm only looking to get $10 or $20 at the most out of it. Okay. And so it's, make sure you switch the mindset and the math. All right, we're almost to the open, and so this is so interesting, like watching the 10-second chart and how it aligns with the 1 minute and the 5 minute. This is really great. Oh, okay, I can hide that. That looks better. It's easier to see. Much better. So I like to use trend lines. I haven't really explored Warrior Trading's charting features, but I love the scanners. I've taken his classes. Very good. I follow him. I follow Ross Cameron. All right, here we go. Let's see what pops up, if anything, right? You can't really count on it, but let's see if anything pops up. MIGI, that sounds familiar. MIGI. Let's see. MIGI. But it didn't have news. Oh, it's below VWAP. Okay. And GLMD is popping up. GLMD. I ended up not taking any of that trades on that one. Wow, tons of activity on GLMD. Pharmaceuticals. Galmed Pharmaceuticals. They announced the development of a brain-penetrating new formulation of... Okay, so that sounds like great news. This could... Oh, I was going to say this is a potential gap and go, but I don't know. That's the problem. This right here, this candle, this is why I don't trade that much at the market open anymore. That, stuff like that. That is terrifying. Look at that. You think it's popping up, and then it just jackknifes right down. All right, ONCO. ELAB is popping up. Okay, this would have been a bull flag. Well, and it would have pulled back here. So let's look at the 10-second chart. It's pulling back, right? And that's this here where it's creating this topping tail. So it's pulling back on the 10-second. And we've got this topping tail here. Okay, now it's popping back up. Do I want to trade a pullback on the 10-second chart? No, I'm not going to take any trades on the 10-second chart this week. I'm going to watch it today, tomorrow, and next week. If that is my theme, I'll kind of figure out what my bottleneck is. But if that's my theme next week, then I'll take a trade on it next week. But I'm going to keep the 10-second chart up. Thank you. Thank you, HGOHIL. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but thank you. All right, so it's kind of popping up a little bit here. I don't know. I don't want to risk losing my lead. It's not worth it. Like, if it goes south, then I'm going to be right on the week, right on the month, right on, you know, even at $10 for my risk. But look at where people think ELAB is going. They think it's going all the way up to 8. So I'm going to look for a real pullback. NUAI is also NUAI. NUAI common stock offering. I don't know. ELAB, so VWAV. The Pentagon wants 200,000 autonomous systems. Ah, okay, a defense order. That is a good headline. But, you know, oh, the volume, relative volume now. So ELAB, ooh, I don't like that. Look, it dropped down almost the entire last move. Look at this. The bottom of this candle is at the bottom of here. Nope, and now the MACD's red. So I'm just less and less likely to take a trade right at the opening of the market, even though there's a ton of volume. I've been burned a lot. It has to be obvious. Okay. But I like some of the news that's popping up. MIGI, nope. GLMD, nope. ONCO. ONCO. I'm rooting for you, humanoid. UCAR is popping up. But it's popping up on old news. When I say old, I mean yesterday. Not like a week ago, but still, I don't know. ELAB is, so NUAI. This looks promising too. Oh, that was a micro pullback. But the volume, look, the volume didn't go up above that candle. So that would give me a lot of pause. UCAR is popping up. UCAR. Okay, popped up above VWAP. NUAI. Really thought ONCO would just, no one likes this humanoid news. I love it. Sometimes I'm baffled as to why certain news isn't driving the stock through the roof. Like, I think that is so cool. NUAI. Yep, that was a micro pullback, but the volume is decreasing here. And let me look at NUAI. The price is right. The float, oh, the float's 44 million. Yeah, so NUAI, you were disqualified from the beauty pageant. All right. VWAV, that's, you know, on the higher end for float, but that also looks choppy. I don't like that. I'm being so like catty about it. That looks choppy. I'm all set. Oh, all right. Yeah, let's I'm being so snooty about some of these stocks today because I'm like, I'm green today. But honestly, it's such a relief to have a third green day in a row. I've been on a rough streak, and I would rather have lots of small green days strung together in a tough market, because that means that I'm improving, and that means that when the market heats up, I'm going to be in a good position. So that I would definitely rather have that. All right, UCAR. ONCO. People think ONCO is going to pop up above VWAP, I think. ELAB. People still are having confidence in ELAB, but is it going to pop back up? Let's take a look. This topping tail, I don't like that. Boo to that. So it was up here at $7. It looks like it's on the 10-second chart. It looks like it's stair stepping down. Wow, look at this. On the 10-second chart, this one candle went from 670 to 641. It dropped 30 cents in 10 seconds. Wow. Okay. Wow. So a large part of this drop was in 10 seconds. Yeah, it started to creep down and then boom. All right. Yeah, I've been very patient. When I first started trading with real money, I was only trading the market open. I didn't understand how to trade in the pre-market with limit orders, and I really didn't understand any of that. So I was just trading the market open, and I was actually doing pretty well, considering now looking back. I'm a new trader. Trading is risky. I'm a new trader, but back then it's really scary how I was able to do pretty well knowing so little. I had that beginner's luck streak, I think. And then moving to the pre-market, that was a big learning curve, trying to really understand limit orders. And but I think I like pre-market better now. And so that's why I'm really curious about trading between 4 and 7 on Webull. NUAI, sorry, NUAI, your float is too high. Sorry. Okay. Today, the only stock, excuse me, the only stock that I have traded today is ELAB. Let's see, right? Let me look. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades, 4 green, 2 red. That's more in alignment with my usual accuracy. I tend to be a 2 out of 3. Like 2 out of 3 doctors recommend. May cause. Oh my, wouldn't it be funny if like they had commercials for trading like they do for those medical conditions? 2 out of 3 traders. Trading may cause blinding headaches, crushing anxiety. I don't know why I love this. I do. I just love trading. I do. I love that it's hard, and I love that seeing improvements in myself, and I'm curious to hear about what you're going through in your trading journey. As a new trader, it is terrifying that the more I learn, the less I know. And that is, but I love that too, you know. I love blinding headaches and crushing anxiety, but I think that it's just, there's something about it that's so fun. And years ago when I got my MBA, I was extremely interested in trading. In fact, I was very interested in Forex and currency trading and commodities trading, which I don't do yet. And I took all my finance and electives in entrepreneurship and in investments. So, and finance and accounting, which was what most of my professional career has been, either finance and accounting directly or adjacent to finance and accounting. Like I did procurement for a long time as well. So yes, I love trading, but it is, it is crazy. It is a crazy journey. So I have been trading over a year. I started trading, I want to say like day trading. Like I was already investing long-term and mid-range investing, obviously, for a long time, years and years. But for day trading, I started, I think, last February, but I did not start with real money. I started with paper money. I highly recommend that. I started with real money in the summer last year, but I wish I had waited like another 3 months or so before I even started with real money. It's just not worth it, because if you're not doing well with fake money, I mean, it's not going to be any better with real money. Like you're going to be really stressed out. So I'm a new trader, and I am not telling people what to do. I'm just sharing my journey. And, but you know, over the year, it hasn't been like I started day trading and it hasn't been a linear progression. It's a very steep learning curve. And, you know, I was coming to trading with an interest in it, but my experience in terms of finance and accounting has been in fundamental analysis, right? And all of my professional experience had been sort of on the finance and accounting side. I was doing long-term investing, but that's a completely different animal. So when I decided that I was going to day trade last year, I realized there would be a pretty steep learning curve, but I had no idea how steep. So if I could give you one piece of advice, it would be trade in a simulator. Thinkorswim has you can trade with paper money in Thinkorswim. Webull has the same thing. Most of the brokers have a simulator and they call it paper money, but it's basically fake money. And you don't get all the features that you would have for live trading, but it's enough, you know. And I use Warrior Trading Scanners, and he also has a simulator, but that you have to pay for. But as far as Thinkorswim, you can just sign up and trade with paper money. And I really recommend that. And just sit down every day and watch the charts and trade with paper money. You know, start with small shares, 10 shares. Like start with fake money, but pretend like it's real. Okay. Like if you were going to switch to real money and you were only going to trade with 10 shares, then trade with 10 shares in paper money. You want to trade when you're training like you're going to trade for real. Okay, that's the best way to do it. Don't trade like, 20,000 shares with paper money and then try to switch to real money when you're only going to be able to trade with like 10 shares or 100 shares. That's my biggest piece of advice. Trading is risky, but it is fun. It is fun, but it's risky, and that's the absolute truth. My journey has been up and down, and right now I'm really focused on improving 1% a day. So let's see. We're going to see if anything else pops up here at the market open, but it does seem to be a few things are popping up on my scanners, but they don't have news. ONCO looks like it might be creeping up. So it did pop above VWAP. Okay. Which is kind of what I thought might happen. I was looking at it up here. Didn't get in on the front side here. Didn't get in on the front side, and then it dropped below VWAP. Now, it looks like a lot of people think it's going to break VWAP. VWAP is at 182 right now. Although these could just be people that didn't get out in time. They want to sell. But I don't know. I love this news. A humanoid. I know I keep saying that. I sound like a broken record, but I think it's really cool news. And I'm just always baffled why this isn't going through the roof. And it's so cute that they named it Vinci, like Da Vinci. So yeah, this 10-second chart is a game changer. Definitely a game changer. Let's look at ELAB. MACD is still red. I'm only going to be trading until 10 o'clock today, so that's SKYQ popping up, but that would be like that's a continuation stock. It doesn't have new news. So that does not meet my criteria for stock selection. I will only trade stocks right now with a news catalyst because the market's not super hot. And so I'm going to be really strict about my rules. And my rule is news catalyst. But wow, look at that right here. This move right here from 845 to 891. That's 50 cents almost 50 cents a share. That would have been a nice move right there. And MACD was green. I guess if I were feeling riskier, I might have been able to get $20 off of that because I'm only going to trade with 100 shares. If I make any more trades today, I was trading with 500 shares. I'm dropping down to 100 because I don't want to lose my green day. So I'm reducing my risk, my market exposure. So, all right, let's see if so right here, I guess you could call this a micro pullback kind of dip. Yep. Well, I just want to say thank you again to Hogohil. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but thank you about the 10-second chart. That is now going on my list of tools. You helped me kind of make the leap. I'd been thinking about it for a while, but thank you. And that might be the theme of the week next week. I'm going to see at the end of the week when I do my wrap up and I post it on Substack on Friday, I will make a decision about next week's theme. But this is definitely going to be something that I continue to work on. I'm going to keep it on my monitor and keep watching it and keep learning how to see the moves on the 10-second chart. So this one, the 10-second chart is on ELAB. And the nice thing about it is that I can keep the 10-second chart for one ticker and then watch something else somewhere else. Yep, see, dropping down below VWAP. I think it'll take me a couple of days watching the 10-second chart for my eye to catch up. That happened to me oh, I can't see it. HG. Okay, HG, thank you. All right. So thank you, HG. Because when I first started trading, I wasn't even really honestly aware of the level 2 and time and sales. Like I was, but I was just so overwhelmed with the basics, like learning the charts and everything. Once I started really watching level 2 and time and sales, it really took a while for my eye to catch up. And now I can see on the time and sales, I can see like if there's a big order, say there was a big order that popped up here at the top of the ask for like 20,000 shares, and then I start seeing all the people buying that order on the time and sales. You can start to see it's at 494. Now you see 494, 495, 496. You can see that as these orders are being bought up, you can see it on the time and sales. However, there are hidden orders. Not all the orders are going to be on the level 2. Some brokers allow you to have hidden orders. So it's not complete information, okay? But I think it'll take a little while for my eye to catch up on the 10-second chart and for me to really start to see it happen, see the multi-time frame alignment. You know, I'm excited about that. So it looks like I'm not taking any more trades today. I'm not giving up my edge. And I really hate to over-focus on profit and loss. I want to keep my focus on improvement and learning because we don't always have control over our profit and loss. However, I am really, really happy to be green today. And I know it's a small green day, but I am going to take it and be so excited about it. And then when I look at my week, I was red when I started this morning because I had this big loss on Monday that was mostly because of one stock. And now I have flipped the script. I am green on the week, and also the month was pretty rough because I had a red day the first day of the month. I had 2 red days. So now I'm green again, and I am green on the month. So again, I don't want to over focus on that, but I am doing this to make money. So at the end of the day, that does matter. But as far as my focus on each trade and on the learning process, I want to keep it focused on learning and improving 1% per day and keep that pretty solid. Okay, I'm going to close that 10-second chart because I'm not going to take any more trades today. But that's where everything stands today. Okay, I've got, let's see, let's get rid of this. Okay, so today, as it stands, I am really happy. Honestly, I am really, really happy that I'm happy to be green on the day, green on the week, finally, and green on the month. And I know it's so small, but seriously, my trading has been rough. However, since I started the channel, things have really looked up because you guys are keeping me accountable. And I'm really loving that. Okay, so let's kind of recap today a little bit. If you enjoy my live streams, because some people may watch this after the fact, if you enjoy my live stream, I am also over on Substack. And on Substack, I'm posting Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Each day there will be a little free content and then paid content under that. So, and I'm talking about my weekly goal and doing some of the market analysis, the wider market. And that's where I'm talking about those things over on Substack, Trade with Raven on Substack. I will do a daily recap when I'm done, when I shut down the live stream, and I will post that a little bit later. And that will kind of tell the story of the entire trading session. And I will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. So thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that you